Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, it's 5 a.m. Could Kern County end up on the state's watch list? That's a question we should know more about later this morning. We'll break down the latest numbers from Public Health.
Will students return to the classroom? Another school district has made their decision and it wasn't unanimous. We'll explain ahead.
And a close call. BPD has a warning on the dangers of drivers out on the roads. We'll give you a look at red light cameras around town. Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Gitsky in for Maddie Jansen alongside Taylor Schaub in for Alex Fisher. And this morning, it's pretty pleasant out there.
Yes, it was. When I left my house, and granted, I left at about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty good, but it has been hot all week as we send things over to our chief meteorologist, Alyssa Carlson, in for Kevin Charette.
Good morning, Taylor and Nicole. Yes, this morning temperatures running about the same as they have as yesterday morning here. But we do have hotter temperatures on the way today, and we're going to be heating on up. We have a heat wave that will start today. So currently looking at 76, and our winds are light out of the north at 7 miles per hour. A warm start, and of course, we're watching for some bad air quality. We have an air quality warning that's going to run all the way through Monday, and that is for the valley, and that does extend up into the Central Valley as well. Currently looking at smoke from the mineral fire filtering into the valley. I did look at the latest satellite images to try to see if we could see it, and at this point I'm not really seeing much, which is good. We'll take it, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. So keep in mind there may be some smoke issues outside, and if you are sensitive to that, if you have respiratory illnesses, you'll maybe want to keep it indoors. 7 a.m., 76 degrees in the valley. By 3 o'clock, 99. So I expect to hit 100 this afternoon in the valley and in the mountains, starting out here warm into the 60s by 7 a.m. and then at 3 o'clock, 90 degrees. We are going to talk about the heat on the way and a sneak peek of the weekend. Your complete pinpoint forecast. Taylor, Nicole.
Well, we're all looking forward to the weekend, I know that. Congress may not be leaving the office, though, as soon as planned this August. There's a push to have another talk about an economic stimulus package to help the country cope with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic.
John Lawrence reports.
While schools across the country are working on plans on how to reopen, the House of Representatives might be delaying or skipping its August recess.
We have to have a bill, and we will have a bill, and hope we will have it sooner rather than later because people really need to have it.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's willing to stay in Washington to get another relief bill to President Trump.
This isn't about government and philosophy or any political differences of opinion. This is about meeting the needs of the American people at the time of a pandemic that has lost about 40 million jobs.
Lending a financial hand to the American workforce is something that has bipartisan backing.
We know we can't shut the economy down again. That cannot happen. We've learned there are consequences from being cooped up at home.
But, as always, it's a question of whether Republicans and Democrats come to an agreement. As the push for a proposal is in its early stages, Americans are attempting to cope.
My business still hasn't picked up. COVID seems to be getting worse and not better. So at least here in the city of Atlanta, we're in the process, it seems like, of going back to phase one.
Am I going to go out and buy something to eat, or am I going to purchase a medication, or am I going to save my funds to go to a doctor or put gas in my car?
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now for the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. Kern Public Health announced another 162 cases Wednesday with no new deaths. Our death toll now stands at 98. More than 2,200 people are isolated in their homes. 142 are being treated at local hospitals. And according to the state, 62 patients are in intensive care units. The county says local hospitals can adjust to hold nearly 300 ICU patients in case of a surge.
Now let's take a closer look at those numbers. Kern Public Health reported more than 160 new cases. To this date, 90,240 COVID-19 tests have been administered in Kern. Of those tests, 91% have come back negative. Close to 7,000 people have tested positive for the virus. Now to some demographic information. 11% of those who tested positive are 17 or younger. 60% are between the ages of 18 to 49 years old, 19% are 50 to 64 years old, and 10% are 65 or older. In total, 47% are men, 53% are women. Today, Kern officials are set to expand on where the county stands as it relates to the state watch list. And that's the subject of our 17 interactive poll. Today, we are asking, are you concerned that Kern County could end up on the state's watch list? Call or text us at 888-4617. Press 1 if you are concerned, and 2 if not. You can also tweet, email, or Facebook us your comments. Once again, our interactive feedback line is 888-4617. We'll air some of your comments and have results coming up later in Sunrise.
Well, happening today, Rite Aid is about to bring a dozen new coronavirus testing sites to Kern County. Rite Aid announced that more of its pharmacies will have drive-through coronavirus testing. There's no requirement, so even if you don't have symptoms, you can get a test. According to Rite Aid's website, multiple stores in Bakersfield will have testing, along with certain stores in Delano, McFarland, Wasco, Shafter, Rosamond, and Lamont. Those test sites will begin operating today. The company says you can pre-register on its website, riteaid.com.
Now, we are just 2 months away from when the Kern County Fair would usually begin. But next week, we could find out if the fair will go on or fall victim to COVID-19. On Monday, the board that organizes the fair will discuss if the annual event needs to be canceled. In May, the board decided the fair would go on as board members juggle concerns about coronavirus and the fair's budget. But during that meeting, Finance Chair Lucas Espericuarta said they should consider a fair with no rides, but just concerts, livestock, animals, and concessions. Earlier this year, he said the fair as an organization could lose up to $3 million if the event is canceled.
Now to education news. Students in the Kern High School District will begin their new school year at home. Wednesday afternoon, the Board of Trustees voted 3-2 to begin next month in distance learning format. That means no in-person classes, at least not for the first academic quarter. Board President Brian Beatty and Vice President Joey O'Connell were the 2 no votes. Distance learning will last at least until October 9th.
I hope that we're able to return our kids back to school at the end of the first quarter, and I just couldn't apologize more to those students who are going to be seniors. I know what you're missing, and my heart goes out to you. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice how sad I am for you. But I hope we're able to do everything we can to get you back in school. I know that's the board's intention.
Earlier this week, the executive board of the Kern High School Teachers Association says it's recommending the district keep school campuses closed. It's a slightly different story, however, for the Fairfax School District. The district says parents will now get to decide how their kids will learn with 3 options. Parents can choose to have their kids on campus 4 days a week with 1 day of distance learning, or a hybrid schedule with kids on campus for just 2 days a week and then keeping their kids at home for the rest of the time, or keeping their kids off campus entirely with distance learning. Parents must decide by next Thursday, July 23rd, or kids will automatically be enrolled in the 4-day option. The district warns that they will try to offer parents their first choice, but it's not guaranteed.
Now, California's Superintendent of Public Instruction supports online learning if new cases don't start going down. Wednesday, Tony Thurmond said he expects most districts to begin their school years virtually this fall. The Department of Public Health released guidelines last month for schools to reopen, but Thurmond says conditions have changed significantly since then.
And if it's not safe to do so, then schools should not reopen in a way that would put students or staff in harm's way.
He says ultimately it's up to health officials and districts working together at a local level to make that decision. Well, the Bakersfield City School District Board has finalized its back-to-school plan, also deciding it's safest to return 100% virtually next month. The district, just like Kern High, will continue distance learning for the first quarter, then revisit the issue. Once it's safe to do so, it hopes to bring students back slowly, having one group attend school Mondays and Tuesdays and another group Thursdays and Fridays. Other school districts also have finalized plans, including Edison, Rosedale, Union, Lamont, and DeGiorgio. Bakersfield College and CSUB have decided they will hold the majority of their classes online.
Some districts have yet to make a decision about virtual learning for next fall. Next Monday, July 20th, the Delano Union School District is set to meet, and so too is the Vineland School District.
A California City woman who stabbed and killed her adult son has been sentenced to 11 years in prison. Cynthia Goley pleaded no contest last month to killing her son and what she said was a suicide pact she had with her son and husband. According to court documents, Goley called 911 and told dispatchers about the pact, but claimed the knife she had wasn't sharp enough to kill herself. Police arrived to her home and found her 35-year-old son stabbed to death. Her husband, Shelton Goley, was also dead. He was reportedly a hospice patient.
Well, warning from BPD this morning, and it has to do with staying safe on the roads. Take a look at some of these clips. The videos are shocking, and BPD says it's important to stay vigilant on the road as you drive. Close calls like this can easily turn into accidents. These videos were captured by red light cameras in town, and BPD says or warns you to never take your eyes off the road and make sure you look for cars around you at all times.
Bakersfield City Council approved a plan to transform part of Mill Creek. Back in March, we told you the owner of Maya Cinemas wanted to buy 5 acres of land near the movie theater to create an entertainment district at P Street and California Avenue. Wednesday, the council approved the letter of intent for the sale of the land to ME Development Company. The city calls this the final step in the Mill Creek Vision Plan.
Well, Garces Memorial High School is mourning the loss of a beloved football coach. John Roberts passed away on July 12th. Roberts graduated from Garces back in 1972. He spent years as the assistant football coach at Garces. After he retired from his job at the Kern County Probation Department in 2010, he became the head football coach. Robert leaves behind his wife, Jan, and their 3 children.
Well, we've got an update this morning on coronavirus numbers and unemployment benefits running out.
Our Washington correspondent Tracy Ponce has more on what you need to know.
Announced that the other day.
The head of the CDC warns we could be looking at 200,000 coronavirus deaths during flu season as the U.S. now tops 3.5 million cases.
I think those 2 respiratory pathogens hitting us at the same time do have the potential to stress our health system.
President Trump saying it's okay that the CDC will no longer control tracking the numbers.
We're all in the same team, including Dr. Fauci. I have a very good relationship with Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, calls the White House effort to discredit him bizarre.
I cannot figure out in my wildest dreams why they would want to do that.
He's responding to an op-ed by the White House trade advisor suggesting Fauci's facts can't be trusted.
I can't explain Peter Navarro. He's in a world by himself, so I don't even want to go there.
Meantime, Democrats and Republicans are divided over extending a $600 unemployment bonus that ends in 2 weeks.
A bonus that actually made it more attractive for many people to stay home rather than go back to work.
Why would you give the big tax breaks to the high end and begrudge working families $600?
But they agree schools need more money to reopen. Schools are all over the map on that, with some opening only online, others giving kids a chance to come back in person, and others giving parents a choice. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.